get to all of our top stories in a moment. Good evening, I'm George Malay.
And I'm Stephanie Gorin. Thanks for joining us. Time to check in, though, with Tom Messner. And Tom, these wildfires, it's because it's so dry.
We had a red flag warning in effect, which means it is very dry, which means we had winds that were too quick, actually. And once these things catch, they move very quickly to spread. But things are looking better now, I'm happy to say. So I want to give you some weather headlines here as we head toward the overnight and then into tomorrow. We are going to find any rain showers ending overnight tonight, and we've got plenty of them out there. We'll check Storm Tracker 5000 for you in just a little while. Hey, tomorrow ends up being a mostly sunny day. It is going to be cooler than today, but not too shabby. And then, wow, we've got a nice stretch of weather coming in. So we'll take a look at that radar for you, and we'll talk about the upcoming many days, many of which look really good. 5-day forecast +2 is on the way here.
And Tom, you mentioned this right now. Towns and fire departments around the region recovering after a busy day battling an onslaught of brush fires. Let's take a look at a map. It shows you just how widespread these fires have been, from Tupper Lake to Brattleboro and everywhere in between. Pastures and woodlands have been scorched, sending firefighters out to battle the flames. WPTZ's Rachel Cars is live in Winooski tonight. Rachel, what's the latest?
George, when I was checking in on some of the fires earlier this evening, some departments were still out battling the flames. Tonight, fire crews are warning residents to think twice before they burn.
People are getting itchy from the wintertime, and they want to get rid of all their brush and their leaves and stuff like that. Although right now, the state of Vermont's put out a red flag warning that there's no burn permits being issued throughout the state, I believe.
The wind, warmth, and extreme dryness sparked dangerous conditions across much of northern Vermont Monday. Brush fires broke out in all corners of the state, including this one in Charlotte.
Adhere to state warnings that when they put out, brush fire warnings, do not be out there burning because things like this can happen.
This fire started in the yard next door to the Old Lantern on Greenbush Road. While crews were battling the fire, they were notified embers had blown over to the wedding venue, setting it on fire.
I got the call and they said it's contained, it's fine. When I pulled up and I saw every department from New Haven to Shelburne here, that's when I panicked.
Crews spent much of the afternoon pulling out burnt paneling and extinguishing any trace of fire on the lot. Venue owner Lisa Gojak says they aren't wasting any time making the repairs.
In fact, my contractor's already on site and he's ordered the wood and we'll have it paneled up and ready to go tomorrow. We'll be painting tomorrow afternoon.
With the wedding just 10 days away, Gojak says they'll be ready.
I think that's what my contractor thought, is that we do 65 weddings a year, and so I think he assumed we had one this weekend, but no. We're taking it off for a family event, so it worked out really nicely, so we're good.
Now, the Red Cross is delivering supplies for 300 firefighters currently battling major brush fires in both Brattleboro and Andover. Live in Winooski tonight, Rachel Cars, WPTZ News Channel 5.
The National Weather Service's warnings has firefighters across our area busy and on high alert. In New York, volunteer firefighters went from one fire to another. The red flag warnings, which were up until about 7 tonight, means that fires can burn much more vigorously. Many of the factors which prompt a warning don't necessarily cause a fire, but they do impact how that fire burns.
There are several factors that come into issuing a red flag warning: low humidity, dry fuels, high winds, and temperatures. And today all those things have come together.
Of the fires that broke out today, no injuries reported. Today also happens to be International Firefighters Day. For the latest on the brush fires sweeping the region, head to our website, WPTZ.com. And for continuing coverage, tune in to Nightcast tonight at 11 on WPTZ News Channel 5.
New at 10, police in Waterbury on the hunt for the burglar, or perhaps burglars, responsible for a pair of break-ins. The crime's happening at the Prohibition Pig on South Main Street and the Cork Wine Bar and Market on Stowe Street. Let's take a look at some surveillance footage of the burglary at the Cork Wine Bar and Market. This burglar stole cash from the business and destroyed property as well. WPTZ's Robin Estabrook went to Waterbury today to get the latest from police, and she now joins us live in the newsroom with the very latest. Hi, Robin.
Hi, George. Well, the two places here are right near each other, and police say they want your help to find the person responsible. Early Monday morning, police say someone broke into Prohibition Pig and Cork Wine Bar and Market in Waterbury. Their activity at Cork was captured on camera, even though police say it looks like the person tried to prevent that.
Went into the building,
turned one of the cameras away, saw one of the 3 cameras.
Police say the person got away from Cork with a small amount of cash, but caused hundreds of dollars in damage.
It's a large glass door. They smashed the door. It's going to be hundreds of dollars. They replaced the glass. They might have to replace the whole door. And when the person went in, they had some kind of a pry bar. They pried open the cash register and destroyed that. That's a couple $100. And then the printer was broken in the process. That's another $400.
Prohibition Pig suffered a greater loss cash-wise.
It was quite a bit more taken from the Prohibition Pig than from Cork, but I don't want to share that exact amount.
Waterbury has seen more break-ins lately.
We've definitely had an uptick in break-ins in this area, not just the village, but yeah, I can think of a couple of others that fit this pattern.
And the police chief says he thinks he knows why.
I would say drugs. Drugs, you know, heroin is usually the reason people are doing this. Money for drugs.
He says the businesses broken into this time did have security measures in place.
Both businesses were locked well. Both businesses had security systems. They didn't have alarms.
And he suggests business owners take measures to reduce the chances they'll become crime victims.
One of the things I would suggest is to leave your cash drawer open. Don't close it, because then they can see what's in there. They can take it if they're going to take it, and they don't damage another several $100s worth of equipment breaking into your register.
Now, if you have any information about these burglaries, contact the Waterbury Police Department at 244-7339. Live in the newsroom, Robin Esbrook, WPTZ News Channel 5.
Also new at 10, Winooski officials asked residents to run water to prevent frozen pipes over the winter. So how much did that cost the city? Well, tonight the city manager added up the costs of freeze-mageddon, if you will, for council members. She says it was not as much as they thought it would be. They ended up saving money. City officials thought it was going to be $150,000. It ended up being $89,000. But the city manager says they had more water main breaks than usual, which was costly. The city usually has 3, but this year there were 12. She says this was a separate issue, and she appreciates the community being so flexible.
I want to thank the community for stepping up on this. I know if you were like me, it wasn't really pleasant to listen to water run for a month, and most of us spend an awful lot of time trying to figure out how to get it out of our metal sinks and into our bathrooms where we can close.
A formal letter will be issued to the council members once the numbers are finalized.
In Commitment 2016 news tonight, Bernie Sanders has begun his first full week as a presidential candidate. And while he does so with neither a campaign headquarters nor much of a staff, the campaign coffers are filling up. As of Sunday, Sanders has $2.1 million in new contributions. 145,000 more people have signed up as supporters through his website. Although he has no campaign headquarters, we're told it will be in Burlington and that the campaign is close to signing a lease somewhere. The thinking now is that Sanders' formal kickoff will come at Burlington City Hall 3 weeks from tomorrow, but no details have been finalized or announced as yet. On the GOP side of the equation, the presidential field is now 2 candidates richer. On your left, former Hewlett-Packard CEO Carly Fiorina. She took to Twitter to announce her candidacy today and released a video talking about just why she's running. Fiorina plans to head to New Hampshire this week. And on the right is renowned neurosurgeon Ben Carson. He told supporters he's seeking the GOP nomination during an event in Detroit this morning. Oh, and former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee is expected to make an official announcement of another campaign tomorrow. Huckabee will declare his candidacy in his hometown of Hope, Arkansas.
In New York right now, the town of Jay and the Essex County Board of Supervisors are left without their leader. Another longtime Essex County politician, Randy Douglas, steps down from his supervisor post to take a state position. In an emotional final meeting, the Democrat told his colleagues he has accepted a position as part of Governor Andrew Cuomo's staff. An administration official says Douglas has been appointed to the Unemployment Insurance Appeals Board, but an official announcement is expected soon.
I couldn't do it without the caring family that I have. I watched my grandfather leave this county, leave this job, and on the way home as a town supervisor, he died at the county line, or the town line between Jay and Keene. I watched my dad die in this position. I can no longer put my family through this.
In the interim, Keene Supervisor Bill Farabee will serve as the board's chair.
Coming up, the wait is over. The second royal baby has a name. We'll break down the ancestry behind the name, although it isn't really very hard to figure out at all.
Plus, the galaxy salutes this Star Wars Day. Hear about one fan who set the internet ablaze over what Star Wars items he put for sale on Craigslist.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, they didn't have the tools necessary to predict the weather. Thankfully, Tom Messner's from this side of the space-time continuum and has Storm Tracker 5000 and a bunch of other cool stuff to nail your forecast.
All right, let's take a look at what's captivating the internet in tonight's edition of Trending at 10.
Glad I got this story. More than 260,000 tweets today about a big name for a little baby girl.
I wanted this story.
I know you did. Princess Charlotte Elizabeth Diana of Cambridge.
Aww.
She, of course, is the newborn daughter of Prince William and Duchess Catherine. The middle name of Diana is in honor of William's late mother, and the middle name of Elizabeth is a nod to William's grandmother, the Queen. Charlotte Elizabeth Diana is fourth in line to the throne. She will be called Princess Charlotte of Cambridge. Charlotte sounds a little bit like Charles to me, too. What do you think?
Yeah, just a little bit. Well, I must have done something to make our producer mad because I got this story. A hearty greeting on social media today for the newest manager in Major League Baseball. That would be Craig Counsell, who's been hired as the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers fired their previous manager yesterday after the team started the season with 7 wins and
18 losses.
18
Yep,
losses.
they
Thank
stink.
you. That's the worst record in the majors, people. Counsell played 6 seasons for the Brewers and retired from playing after the 2011 season.
But the trending Goliath of the day, as tall as Darth Vader himself, with more than 750,000 tweets, the celebration of Star Wars Day.
Oh, yeah.
Why today? Because May the 4th be with you.
Come on.
No, no joke.
One
That's really
viral
why?
Star
That's
Wars
really why.
sensation to tell you about. A
Oh,
Craigslist
my.
ad, listen to this, posted in California for a slightly used Imperial II class Star destroyer. The ad, which has been flagged for removal, boasts the ship's 36,000 tons of cargo capacity, heavy ion cannons, and working deflector shield generator domes. Just know you are responsible for towing.
It is. May the 4th be with you.
When did that start? Is that new, or has that been around since the 70s?
I don't have much historical background on this.
I don't
I was
either.
going to say 1977, but I'm probably not.
I think it had to catch fire first.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes, yeah. There are some shows that have talked a lot about this, about the May the 4th be with you. So.
I got to get with it. I know. I want to show you where the rain is. This I can deal with. Hey, it's really light stuff for the most part, but if you're seeing it, well, it's not going to last very long, so enjoy it while it's here. I know many of us could use a little bit. We're trying to get those gardens going, you know what I mean? Right near the Canadian border, we've got some rain coming down from Newport as you head on over toward places like Enosburg Falls, and even in northern New York, Dannemora and Lion Mountain looking at some rain, and this whole thing is going to blow through really over the next handful of hours. Even first thing tomorrow morning, while we'll probably have a few lingering clouds from this system, that should about do it. We end up with a decent amount of sunshine. High temperatures for the day officially did make it to 86. In the Champlain Valley, Burlington and Plattsburgh, 78 degrees Saranac Lake, 85 in Lebanon, 84 degrees Springfield. It is not going to be that warm tomorrow, just so you know. We did break a couple of records out there today. Saranac Lake made it to 78, mentioned that, beat their old record by 1. Morrisville made it to 81, beating the old record. 71 degrees, that's what we're looking at right now. That's what we're thinking for a high temperature tomorrow. So it is going to be cooler, although it is going to be a cool day. It's going to be a nice day, too. 68 degrees Plattsburgh, 60 degrees Saranac Lake, doing a 68 in Montpelier, 68 degrees as you head towards Springfield, and right now in Bennington, still 76 degrees. It's all about a cold front that's going through. It's the cold front triggering off the showers, and as I say, most of these are pretty light. We had a pretty stiff southwesterly wind out in front of this front today, and because of that, we had the red flag warnings going. In addition to that, it was very warm out there. It was very dry. We had the whole shebang. Now, this front is going to go through. High pressure is going to settle in, and with that happening, we end up with what looks to be a pretty darn nice day tomorrow. But in the meantime, let's look ahead with Futurecast, get rid of some of this rain. 1:30 in the morning, still have some rain showers around, but I don't think it's going to last that much. Past then, we start to find some clearing. So first thing tomorrow morning, thinking partly sunny skies, and then that goes to mostly sunny skies as the clouds erode. Well, tonight, still looking at clouds and some rain showers around. Low temperatures in the Champlain Valley, 55 degrees. Here comes your tomorrow. Going to top out with mostly sunny skies by the afternoon, if not sooner than that. At that 71, same temperature we have in Burlington right now. 71, St. Johnsbury. 70 degrees Plattsburgh, 72 Rutland, 74 Bennington. So tomorrow, quite a bit cooler than today, but it's going to be pretty comfortable. First thing tomorrow morning, Champlain Valley, partly sunny, 56 degrees, and then it becomes mostly sunny. Lunchtime and then into the afternoon, there's that 71 that we've been talking about. So we go from 71 tomorrow to 41 tomorrow night for a low. 74 degrees Wednesday, mostly sunny. Thursday, mostly sunny, 76 degrees. Friday, a mix of sun and clouds. Looks to be an okay day at 78. Then we get you into the weekend, and the chance for a couple of showers on your Saturday. We'll extend that out. Right now, it looks like Sunday, most likely the wetter of the 2 weekend days. Of course, Sunday coming up, that's Mother's Day. We don't want it to rain too much. And we go from 74 Sunday into Monday with some scattered showers still around, and the high temperature on Monday, 71.